Good morning, students. I'm your science teacher, Shaheen Miss. Children, let's start a new lesson today. That is, lesson number 4, Nutrition in Living Organism. So let's begin, children. Children, first let us study what is nutrition. Nutrition is the process of taking in food and converting it into energy and other vitamins and minerals required for life. Okay, what is it? It is the process of taking in and using the food which takes place in the living organism. Some life processes go on continuously in living organism. Substances which are digested and assimilated for obtaining energy and for the growth and health of our body are what they are called as foodstuff, right? We get several types of nutrients from foodstuffs. Nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins and fats are required in large quantity. These are the macronutrients, while minerals and vitamins are required in very small quantity. So they are called as micronutrients. Nutrients can be of two types: autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. Children, why is there need for nutrition? Yes, we need nutrition to supply the energy required for doing work, for growth and development of the body, to replace the damaged cells and repair tissues, and also to fight against diseases. Understood, children? Now let us first study what is the difference between autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition. First, autotrophic nutrition. In this type of nutrition, organism prepares their own food by photosynthesis. Children, some organism can produce their own food and thus nourish themselves. So this is called as autotrophic nutrition. For example, most green plants like mango tree, cactus, etc. are autotrophic plants. Heterotrophic plants. In this type of nutrition, children, organisms depend on other organisms for food. Some organisms, they depend on other organisms, plants or animals for their food. So this is called as heterotrophic nutrition. For example, Venus flytrap, mushrooms, all animals, etc. Understood, children? Good. Children, nutrition in plant is classified into two: autotrophic plants and heterotrophic plants. Further, heterotrophic plants are classified into three: parasitic plants, insectivorous plants, and saprophytic plants. So we are going to learn each one of these in detail. Let's start with autotrophic plants. Autotrophic plants use water and carbon dioxide in presence of sunlight and convert it into food by the process of photosynthesis. We know that, children, plants need food for their growth, right? They can produce their own food. With the help of sunlight and chlorophyll, plants make their food in their leaves using water and nutrients from the soil and carbon dioxide from the air. So this process is called as photosynthesis. Autotrophic plants have a chemical called chlorophyll which helps in photosynthesis. Because of chlorophyll, the autotrophic plant appear green in color. Right? Plants convert this light energy into chemical energy and then store it in the form of food. During photosynthesis, carbon dioxide and water it gets converted into carbohydrates. Now look at this equation, children. Carbon dioxide plus water with the help of sunlight and chlorophyll is converted into carbohydrates plus oxygen. 6CO2 plus 6H2O with the help of sunlight and chlorophyll gives C6H12O6 plus 6O2. So what is happening? Water, minerals and salts are absorbed by the roots from the soil. The stem transports them up to the leaves. The leaves have microscopic openings called stomata, through which they take in the carbon dioxide from the air. The chloroplasts present in the leaves contain chlorophyll, which absorbs sunlight, helping to convert carbon dioxide and water into food. And oxygen is given out in this process. Have you understood, children? Okay. Now let us study transportation in autotrophic plants. The transport system in plants. Okay. The transport system of plant consists of xylem and phloem, as you can see on your screen, children. The xylem transports minerals and water from the roots to all the aerial parts of the plant. Okay? And what does the phloem do? The phloem transports the food, that is glucose, etc., from the leaves to the other parts of the plant where it is either consumed or stored. Are you getting me, children? The xylem transports minerals and water from the roots to all the aerial parts of the plant, whereas the phloem transports the food from the leaf to the other parts of the plant, where it is either consumed or stored. Though the plants have a transport system, they do not have a separate digestive or excretory system. Now, children, let me ask you a question. Will you answer me? Okay. Autotrophic plants transport water and minerals to the leaves through the dash. And the second one is autotrophic plants transport food to all parts of the plant through dash. What would be the answer, children? Think. Absolutely correct. Autotrophic plants transport water and minerals to the leaves through the xylem. And autotrophic plants transport food to all parts of the plant through the phloem. Very good, children. Now, children, how to identify the autotrophic plants? Yes, all autotrophic plants have chlorophyll. Hence, all the autotrophic plants are dash in color. What would be the answer? Yes, green in color. Now, children, identify the autotrophic plants amongst the following. Can you identify? Correct. The second one, fourth and the fifth one are the autotrophic plants. Absolutely correct. Children, how do plants obtain the nitrogen necessary for the synthesis of protein? See, air contains gaseous nitrogen. However, plants cannot utilize gaseous nitrogen. It needs to be fixed, that is, converted into compounds. So, fixation of nitrogen, it occurs by biological and atmospheric methods. In biological fixation of nitrogen, two different types of microorganisms bring about biological nitrogen fixation. Root nodules of leguminous plants contains the rhizobium microorganism. Now what are leguminous plant, children? The plants which bear seeds like dry beans, peas, chickpeas, lentils. Okay? So these microorganisms absorbs atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into its nitrate, that is a compound. Are you getting me, children? Good. Now what is a symbiotic nutrition? A relationship in which two organisms mutually benefit from each other is called symbiosis. So, in some cases, two or more than two different types of plant live together to fulfill their needs of nutrition, protection, support, etc. with each other's help. So this type of nutrition is called symbiotic nutrition. For example, lichen, which is an association between algae and fungi. Algae manufacture food and fungi provide water and mineral along with shelter to algae. So this type of nutrition is called a symbiotic nutrition. Understood? Now let's begin with heterotrophic plants. Heterotrophic plants cannot make their own food by photosynthesis since they do not contain chlorophyll. Heterotrophic plants are of three types: parasitic, insectivorous and saprophytic plants. Let us study the first one, that is parasitic plants. Now, children, the plants that grow on the body of other plants to obtain food are called as parasitic plants. They do not have leaves, therefore they cannot make their own food through photosynthesis. They climb on other plants or trees, and they have roots that suck food out of the other plants or trees. For example, loranthus, cuscuta, etc. Due to the absence of chlorophyll, the cuscuta is completely dependent on the host plant. Hence, it is said to be a completely parasitic plant. Understood, children? Next is insectivorous plants. Now these plants, children, they have bright colors which attracts the insects. The flowers can close to trap the insects. Once an insect is trapped, they release chemicals to digest the insect. So we have seen how some plants feed upon insects to obtain nutrients. For example, a Venus flytrap and a pitcher plant, as you can see on your screen, children. These insectivorous plants generally grow in soil or water deficient in nitrogen compounds. Okay, have you understood, children? The third type is saprophytic plants. Now, plants which obtain the food from dead and decaying bodies of other organisms are called saprophytic plants. They do not have leaves or chlorophyll. So, they get their food from dead organisms. Various types of fungi like mushrooms and yeast are saprophytes. Fungi secrete digestive enzyme on the dead remains to digest or break down the carbon compounds they contain. The resulting solution is absorbed to obtain nutrient. Are you getting me, children? Good. So let's summarize what we have learned in this lesson today. Nutrition in plants is of two types: autotrophic plants and heterotrophic plants. And heterotrophic plants are further classified into parasitic plants, insectivorous plants, and saprophytic plants. Right? Children, let me ask you some questions. Okay? Identify the type of nutrients amongst the following plants. Now observe these pictures carefully and identify the type of nutrition amongst them. Correct. Let's see. Figure A. It is saprophytic plant. B. It is autotrophic plant. C. Insectivorous plants. D. Autotrophic plant. E. Autotrophic plant. And F. It is a saprophytic plant. Good. Children, hope you liked today's lesson. Kindly read the lesson, children, after watching the video attentively. In our next class, we shall be learning nutrition in animals. Till then, take care, children. Thank you.